Good afternoon, Family Cafe. And for those of you who have stuck with us for the whole event, we thank you very much. We're happy you're here. I think we have a very exciting program to wrap up this year's Family Cafe. My name is Jim DeBogren. I am the board chair for Family Cafe. And let me say that we have missed you all. This has been so much fun having you back here and getting to visit with all of you again in person. You know, at Family Cafe, you always get an opportunity to see and hear from celebrities. And, yesterday you had an entertainer, and today's no different. We have a celebrity athlete here. Chris Nikic is the very first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon. And for those of you that are not familiar with the Ironman, it is a 140.6-mile event. And it's even more challenging than your typical triathlon, which can be anywhere from 32 miles to 70 miles. This is 140.6 miles, so this is the most challenging triathlon ever. Because of Chris's accomplishments, he has appeared on ESPN. He is an ambassador for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities worldwide. And he is coached by his father, Nick. And the topic of their presentation for you today is a positive attitude and no quit grit can help anyone achieve their goals. And Chris said about this, I've read your story, Chris. Chris achieved this goal by committing himself to just get 1% better each day. And I'm looking forward to hearing from him and his father, Nick. So if you'll join me in welcoming our special guest to conclude the Family Cafe, Chris and Nick Nikic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. So nice to see you all out again. It's been a long year, hasn't it? It's so nice to see all the smiley faces away from all the masks. So we're going to go ahead and get started and talk to you about Chris's journey. So you want to start first, introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My name is Chris Nikic.
And I'm Nick Nikic.
Our topic is 1% better, the road to full potential. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Cooperation, advocacy, friendship, empowerment. I heard three have something in common. You want to...
You can't read that? It's a little small. Advocate for others. Empower them to reach their full potential.
To reach their full potential. That's also
my mission
in life.
Good.
Before my Ironman journey, I was an average kid with Down syndrome. That changed when I achieved my goal and overcame my obstacles.
With a simple mindset.
To get 1% better every day. So what are we going to do next? I hope my story will inspire you to help others achieve their full potential.
And that's really our theme. We've seen the impact Chris's story has had in the last year, and we're converting that to an opportunity to share his story with others like us, like me and my wife, and others like him, to realize their full potential. And so hopefully Chris's story will do a little bit of that for you today.
About me. I have a Down syndrome accent, and I speak like I am from the Deep South.
You are from the Deep South.
Yeah.
You get out of here.
I just graduated from high school. I'm a public speaker, and as you can see, I am adorable, single, and available.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Get out of here.
You get out of here.
Let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been happily married for 35 years to the most incredible woman in the world. Together we've raised 2 beautiful children. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Sales Optimizer. And of course, I am a proud father of 2 amazing children. We coached our daughter, Jackie, to be an Ivy League basketball player and a student. And of course, we've coached our son, Chris, to set a new world record.
My success is built on one habit. I get 1% better every day. This is an achievement habit, the kind that makes you smarter, faster, and better every day. It takes longer to create, but man, does it change the world. Here is a short video that explains that.
Before we start that, I want to reinforce this concept of 1% better. It takes a lot of patience to see the kind of progress Chris has seen over the last 3 years. And the best lesson out of all of this, hopefully you all can take, is that the patience is worth it. It took Chris approximately 18 months to make his first major breakthrough. It takes a lot of patience to stick with something for 18 months while not seeing a lot of progress. But we watched it and we measured it, and we saw this slight but measurable 1% improvement on a regular basis, and that encouraged us to keep going, to the point where we saw those 1% gains start to compound, and they started to get greater and greater, to the point where he was doing things physically we never even dreamed were possible, and then we started to see those translate cognitively to where he could do things cognitively that we never thought were possible. And so the real lesson here is this 1% better is something you can measure and something you can take pride in and recognize the achievements and then stick with it for your children until you start to see those 1% gains start to compound and you start to see results that you only dreamed about being possible. So let us share a little video with you.
Strong.
Let's be real. But if I could not win, let's be brave in each other.
Those are the words that carried Chris Nikic on his Ironman journey, a quest that started before the pandemic and ended on November 7th in Panama City Beach.
Chris Nikic for round 2!
Chris, what was that experience like for you crossing that finish line?
I felt like I didn't play a moment. I did my dreams.
Special Olympics Florida shared this video with us. Chris crossing the finish line, becoming the first person with Down syndrome to complete the full 140-mile triathlon. He was already the first to finish a half Ironman, conquering that race back in May. But all of this started about 13 months ago, after he finished last in a race at the Special Olympics, went out to Lucky's Lake Swim, and completed that 1-kilometer trial.
And he wrote on the wall, we have a picture of it that says Chris World Champ. And at that point I looked at him and I said, why not? Why can't we find something for you to be a world champ at?
What time did Chris tell him? 10 hours.
Chris had a couple setbacks during the Ironman race. With 70 miles to go on the bike ride, he was attacked by ants during a short rest. He also scraped his leg after falling on his bike.
My fear was that mentally he wasn't going to be able to recover. Because last time he fell off his bike, it took him a month to recover.
But Chris did make it. Combined, the ocean swim, bike ride, and marathon took 16 hours, 46 minutes, and 9 seconds. But this moment, at the finish line, with hugs from everyone who helped him get there, will last forever.
Honestly, I felt at peace, like something good was happening, and he was making a difference in the world for people like us. And I can't tell you how many parents came up to me during the race who sought us out and just cried on my shoulder and told us how wonderful this was for their kids.
Hundreds of thousands watched his race live on Facebook, and anyone who missed it will get another chance, because the finish line was not the end. Chris plans to do more Ironmans, expand his career as a motivational speaker. He's also received several endorsement deals and is writing a book with his dad about his strategy in life, getting 1% better every day and helping to keep
Central Florida Store.
So a lot of what we're going to talk about today is this 1% better. And we're going to try to explain what it is so that hopefully you can internalize it and think about how to apply it in your own situation. We call this 1% better habit an achievement habit. And it's really important to differentiate between this achievement habit and what we normally think about as habits, which are more behavior habits. This achievement habit is more mental than it is physical. It's about teaching someone to think differently, to think about achievement as a normal part of your life, and to appreciate that achievement on a daily basis until it becomes permanent. And then you wake up every morning asking yourself, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? Your mindset changes. It becomes something that really gets you through a day in a very positive light, and you just each day you embrace and you celebrate your successes. So what is this 1% habit, this achievement habit? And why is it important? It's important because it is about the mind. It is not about the body. I believe that if you build the mind first, the body and everything else will follow. And so this entire habit, the journey that Patty, Chris, and I have been on for the last few years and literally for his whole life is really about helping Chris build his mind. And knowing that if we help build his mind, everything else will fall in place. Some keys to the achievement habit. Number one, it's always moving you towards your full potential. This is not about anybody else. It is about you and about you being the best version of yourself and celebrating that and being okay with just being the best you can be. And ultimately, it builds a certain mindset, an achievement mindset, one that separates you from the crowd because of the way you think. Let me give you an example about this achievement habit and why it's so different from what we're normally thinking about when it comes to habits. Behavior habits are good. We should all have them because they get you to do things regularly that are good for you. So, for example, a behavior habit for someone who normally goes to the gym 3 or 4 days a week is a good thing because they're going to be in pretty good shape. They're going to feel pretty good. They're going to achieve certain things, and they're going to have a certain lifestyle that is good for them. But an achievement habit is better. Why? An achievement habit is different in that when Chris goes to the gym, he goes to the gym with a sense of purpose. He doesn't go to do a workout. He goes so he can be 1% better today than he was yesterday. And so what happens is every workout, he thinks about what he did before and then just adds one more to it. And so you'll see how that affects the ultimate result and what happens. Because at the end of the year, someone who has behavior habits, who goes to the gym, and you'll notice this for those of you who go to the gym or work out, do things, you're no different at the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. It doesn't mean you're not well off. You are, but you're essentially the same person at the end of the year you were at the beginning of the year. With someone who has an achievement habit, you actually end up having an exponential gain in your ability to do things. That's the difference. The achievement habit is how Chris went in 1 year from a 14-mile triathlon to a 140-mile Ironman. The real message for all of us is Chris has shown us a way. He has this resiliency about him where he just sticks to stuff every day, and he shows you the power of the 1% gain. 14 to 140 miles in a year, that's almost unimaginable. But that's the power of this achievement mindset and this 1% better. And if you can teach your children, yourself, your family, how to get 1% better, you'll be amazed at the difference in the person you'll become a year from now than you are today, whether it's physically or intellectually. This 1% better requires a fierce focus on execution and coaching. It requires individuals to work together and collaborate and coach each other and support each other. And so coaching is a critical element of this. I want to really highlight how important it is. You can't just let someone go off on their own. They're going to fizzle out. There's a coaching component, a parent, a friend, a brother, a sister, a community colleague, Special Olympics volunteers. We've had a lot of this stuff in Chris's life. And so coaching and execution is what drives the 1%, and you can't leave that part out. So we all have a role to play. Patty and I play a very critical role in coaching and supporting Chris and encouraging him through this journey throughout the entire process.
My story is how training for the Ironman is helping me achieve my full potential of being the best I can be by getting 1% better each day. My mission is to honor God's gifts of life by being the best I can be, so I can give hope to others like me as my story is reaching millions around the world. We all have limitations, but we can all work harder and get better. My story is about overcoming obstacles and limitations by getting 1% better each day so I can inspire others to reach their full potential.
And that's really Chris's main story, the story that we all share, which is obstacles that we have to deal with every day. What Chris has shown us is those obstacles are just obstacles. They're an opportunity to get smarter, to find alternate ways to overcome them, and to look for ways to get smarter, better, faster. As you all know, individuals with Down syndrome have enormous obstacles, almost more than you can count. But obstacles are just an opportunity to learn different ways. And we've learned that Chris and others like Chris, if we stop focusing on their obstacles and we start looking for their gifts and their talents, we find that there are a lot of hidden gifts and talents. Chris didn't accomplish this because there's something unique about it. He accomplished it because we found a way to dig deep and identify his strengths, which all of our kids have, and focus on the strengths and his abilities and not on his disabilities.
I have a 2-step plan to achieve my goals. Get 1% better, work hard.
That's it. Really simple plan. You don't have to do anything else. Just get 1% better and work hard. And then the rest is amazing what you can accomplish.
The problem is enough food, video games, and my couch.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
You get out of here, monkey.
Yeah.
You love to eat, don't you?
Yeah.
What are you having for lunch today?
Chipotle.
Okay. You and your Chipotle. How many days a week would you eat Chipotle?
A lot.
A lot. All right.
Everything is harder for me. It took me 6 months to learn how to ride a bike.
It literally took 6 months of me and my wife holding that little thing behind him and holding him day in and day out, just to learn how to balance on a bike. Imagine that. Just to learn how to balance a bike. And now he rides 112 miles on his own. Even better yet, if you've seen the latest Special Olympics triathlon races in Florida, there are 4 or 5 of his friends with Down syndrome who are all now doing triathlons. There are now about 50 Special Olympics athletes, Down syndrome, autism, all kinds of disabilities, who are now doing triathlons in Florida because of this message. Because now they're all believing. The power of belief driving behavior is unbelievable, and that's what's happening. These 50 young men and women are going to turn into 500 and eventually 5,000 and more around the world. And so what part of our journey here is to recruit more of you to come do triathlons with us. Do we have any future Ironmans in the room? Here we go. All right. So do you have any obstacles?
You back up. Okay. I had many obstacles. At 5 months, I had open heart surgery. At 3 years, I did a walker to walk. At 12, my neck was too weak for dizzy rides. At 17, I had 4 major ear surgeries. My hardest obstacles were no expectations and being excluded from everything.
And you all know that as parents, right? The low expectations and the exclusion. And so we went on a mission to change expectations and to create a world of inclusion for our kids, one where they can be part of the society and enjoy all the things that most of us take for granted. And that's part of the mission that Chris is on, is to show all of his friends that they belong.
No excuses. I could use my obstacles as an excuse. I don't do excuses. My coaches want to take them.
That's right.
Get out of here.
You get out of here.
Instead, I work hard to get 1% faster each day. My choices, success or excuses. I choose success.
It really is a choice.
Yeah.
It is? And
you
made the right choice?
Yeah.
You get out of here.
You get out of here. My decision, after 4 ear surgeries, I gained 40 pounds and I was in bad shape. This year, we set a goal to do an Ironman. The problem was, I know golf and basketball, but not swimming, biking, or running. Other than that, I was great for an Ironman.
Yeah, he didn't like any of those.
Yeah.
And look at him now.
My 1% better story. My dad believes in making everything fun, easy, and getting better slow with no pain. The 1% better habit helps me do all that. In March of 2019, I did a sprint triathlon and ran for 8 minutes. By August, I finished in 100 minutes. I got 1% better each day.
That's when we knew things were happening. Because
Yeah.
we were measuring it. You stop telling me to get out of here.
You get out of here.
Are you going to tell them all to tell me to get out of here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, as part of this journey, we developed 3 rules that we try never to break. When you're on a journey to do an Ironman, the most grueling event in the world, it's a long journey and it can be arduous and painful. So we came up with 3 rules. And we followed these rules religiously. Rule number 1 is make it fun. We know that people aren't going to do things unless they're having fun. And so we build fun into everything he does. always, because we also know that we will do things for rewards and we'll do things that we enjoy. And so we make sure that every time we plan anything, we ask the question, how can we make it fun? Because if you make it anything other than fun, it's going to only last for a little bit and it won't work. So rule number 1, always, always make it fun. Rule number 2, no real pain. You've all heard this mantra from all these, athletes who say no pain, no gain. I happen to think that's a bunch of hogwash. The brain doesn't like pain. The moment you experience pain, the brain fights against you and will sabotage any effort you have. Now, there are 2 types of pain. There's real pain and there's fake pain. What we're saying here is no real pain. Real pain is the kind of pain that happens and lasts long after the exercise or the event that you do. Fake pain is the kind of pain you experience when you're running hard for 2 minutes and your heart is beating and your lungs are beating. So you experience fake pain, but the moment you stop, it goes away. So we've learned how to build his tolerance for fake pain, but we also made sure that we did nothing to create residual pain, anything that would last beyond the moment, because that's what would derail his efforts. So we built this whole system around fake pain versus real pain. And then finally, we have this mantra called just one more. The just one more is an achievement that stimulates endorphins in the brain. So when you do just more of something, the brain likes that. It triggers a little happy drug, and it says, okay, I'm going to do it again. So we go really, really slow, and everything we do, we use this principle and this law of just one more. We don't push him beyond a certain level. We only push him to do one more. So if he did 10 of something 2 days ago, in his mind, doing 11 is no big deal because it's just one more. And so the secret is to start with one of anything, and then every couple, 3 days, just do one more and be okay with slow, steady progress. Because, look, slow, steady progress took a young man off the couch, 40 pounds overweight, 2.5 years later, doing the most grueling event in the world, 140-mile Ironman. So one more isn't that slow, actually, but it works.
For reasons, Down syndrome makes everything harder for me. Number 1, no tone means my muscles are weaker, so I must work harder. Number 2, poor balance makes it hard to ride a bike. It takes me longer to learn. Number 3, delayed reaction means I can't ride a bike fast. I crash, and it hurts a lot.
You haven't crashed in a while, have you?
Yeah. Number 4, slow learning means it's hard for me to learn the way others do. The point is, it's not that I can learn and succeed. It's that I'll learn differently and slower.
And that's what we've learned. He can learn and he can succeed in a big way if we're just patient and we apply it to his learning style and his speed and his rate of learning. And it's amazing what they can do if we just give them that opportunity.
Example, how I built a 1% bachelor habit. I needed a strong core, so day 1, I did 1 push-up, sit-up, and squat.
By the way, that's how we started, with 1.
I added 1 every 2 days. But I made 4 us up to 200. Now I'm up to 380. But I'm in Hawaii, I'll be up to 500. Not that simple on day 1, but possible with 1% bachelor habit.
So let me ask you a question. How many people do you know who can do 380 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats in one sitting? He started with one. Hopefully that's what you're getting out of this thing, is that you start with one, and you do one more, and you build this achievement habit, and then how hard do you think it's going to be for him to go from 380 to 381 or 382? That's the point, and that's hopefully something we can give to you to take away to help apply to your children and to your family and even your life. So I'm going to share a little bit about where all this came from. I own a sales transformation firm. I've been doing this for a long time, reading lots of books on success and transforming. My job is to take an organization of 1,000 or 5,000 adults and teach them how to get better. You all know how hard that is, right? Because adults know it all. They've kind of settled into where they are mostly, and they want to just keep doing what they've been doing. So companies hire me to help transform and make them better. So I built this model, this full potential model of 1% better that I then took and simplified and applied it to Chris's life. Essentially, he was my guinea pig to see, hey, will this work at home in something like an Ironman? This model works. It has 3 steps to it. It moves through periods of frustration, success, and then ultimately becomes a habit. The goal is to make it a habit. But you have to be prepared for this because you're going to go through periods of frustration and you have to get through that. You're going to start to experience success, but success is only temporary until it becomes a habit. And a habit takes a long time. According to the College of London, the most quoted research on habit creation, they say it takes anywhere from 18 to 255 days to form a habit, depending on the complexity of that habit. I would say that developing a 1% better mindset is on the higher end of that complexity scale. So I went into this thing thinking it was going to take 9 to 12 months to help Chris build this 1% better habit. I didn't go in thinking it was going to take 30 days, or as most people think, 21 days. No. We went in with the mindset it was going to take a year. On average, it takes about 66 days to form a habit, but it depends on the complexity of the habit. So I would say to you, go into this thing thinking it's going to take a year to build the 1% better mindset. But the good news is once you build that mindset, then the rest of his or her life is automatic. It becomes easy. It's like on autopilot. Now, there are 3 steps to this model that make it work. The first step is metrics. You have to have a goal. You have to have clear metrics. You have to measure the behaviors or the activities that you do on a daily basis. You have to measure the achievement. The achievement is the one more. So you start with measuring something. I did one of something, but then the achievement is the one more. And if you'll measure the achievement over time, you'll start to build that habit. And then you measure the results. So once a month or once every couple of months, we measure the results of all the achievements together. Finally, you've got to be able to see it visibly on a scoreboard. So we create this little spreadsheet and things where we just measure, and the thing just pops up, and it shows you a line that looks like this, that continues to improve. And so it's important to be able to see that progress. And number 3, a coaching cadence. Every Sunday, now we switch it to Mondays, we get together for about 30 minutes and we talk. It's done regularly. We talk. What do you think we talk about? We talk about what did we do the previous week? What did we actually achieve compared to what we wanted to achieve? What did we learn in the process? And then we schedule the next 7 days. We operate 7 days at a time. In the context of monthly and quarterly and annual goals, but we operate 7 days at a time. We operate within a window that we can control. And we do it that way so we can keep learning, because you're going to go on a journey and you're going to learn things about yourself and about your children and about others that you coach. And so it's important to have a regular coaching cadence and a willingness to continue to ask yourself those questions. What did we do? What did we achieve? What did we learn? And then as a result of all that, how are we going to schedule the next 7 days? Question people ask me all the time is, where did Chris's motivation come from? And I say, look, if we left it up to Chris, he'd still be on the couch playing video games and watching Netflix. Chris didn't have any more motivation than any one of us. And then the question is, well, then how did he do an Ironman? And really the question people ask is, can you coach someone to increase their motivation and competency? That's the real question people are asking. Can you? The good news is, and Chris is proof of that, yes, you can. You can coach people to build motivation and competency. That's what happened with Chris. But here's the kicker. You got to care long enough until it becomes a habit. You got to stick with them long enough until it becomes permanent. You got to stick with them day in and week out until it becomes a part of who they are. That's the achievement habit. That's what you try to do. You invest a year in your child's life building this achievement habit, it'll be amazing what's going to happen. I used to try and do triathlons with Chris, and my wife's worry always was, how are we going to take care of Chris as we get older? You know what that has shifted to? Chris taking care of us. That's right. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
You get out of here.
Yeah.
So, Chris just shared with you the 1% on the push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. That's an example how to build that habit. But let me tell you what else he did to go do an Ironman. Do you know when we started this journey 3 years ago, Chris couldn't swim a lap in a pool? He couldn't. He would go in the pool and do this. He couldn't swim a lap. He could barely ride around a block on his bike very slowly. And running, forget about it. He did not like running. He'd run 100 yards and he'd stop. He likes to play basketball, stop and start, right? He likes to play golf, but running 26 miles? No way. So, we went to the pool and we did one lap. We went in our neighborhood and we rode the bike around the block once. We went out and walked 100 yards. Then we ran 100 yards. And then just one more. And just one more. And just one more. And from 0 to 140 miles, 30 months, essentially 2.5 years, just one more. That's the achievement habit.
I follow a plan to get 1% better each day.
So what is that behind you? Over there on the walls. What is that?
That's me time.
And then what's behind you?
The posters.
The posters. Those posters are a critical part of his success. We just went out and got some big poster boards. At first, we just started writing in them, and then we kind of created a little spreadsheet, and then we went to the printer, printed it. But essentially, everything I've ever read said, in order to make something become real, you have to first see it before you become it. And so this poster board is Chris's dream board. He has a plan. Everything that's important to him is on that dream board. His dream, his goals, his milestones, his plan. And every night before he goes to bed, Chris pulls out a marker and he goes up on his dream board and he writes down what he did and what he achieved. Every day it's visible to him. Every day he fills one box in, and guess what? There are fewer and fewer boxes that are empty, and the closer he gets to the end, the more excited he gets. So his entire room has all of the dream boards from when we started a couple of years ago. We just keep layering one on top of the other. Every time he finishes one, we start with a new one. And so part of building a habit is having a plan to follow. And in Chris's case, we just sat down and wrote his plan. He wrote it down, and now he follows it, and it's a part of who he is now. He doesn't miss workouts. He doesn't miss things because it's on his dream board.
The goal of 1% better is to be successful. Success for all of us is being the best you can be. The average person uses a small percent of their potential. I have less potential, but by using more of it, I can be successful. Imagine what you can achieve if you get 1% better each day and use more of your potential. August 2019 State Championship I really wanted to win, but the problem is my competition. They were older, faster, and no Down syndrome. In March, the gap between me and number one was 75 minutes. But the good news, by August, it was only 25 minutes. Nikic is a one passion meets the open water swim. So while others took a break, I continued to get 1% faster. On 9/11, my first swim across Nikic, I signed the wall. Chris was champ. My dad said, why not do something extraordinary? You could be the first person with Down syndrome in the world to do an Ironman. So we set the goal, Ironman, November 2020. So, what's an Ironman? An Ironman is a 17-hour race with a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and 26.2-mile marathon run. My Ironman commitment: decide, commit, focus, succeed. I asked my dad, what do I need to do? He said 3 example things. Number 1 is to get 1% faster each day. Work hard. Eat more double rice from Chipotle. Yes, I knew I could do it. Then I asked, why should I do it? My dad said, you gotta write down your dreams. And you know what I wrote my dreams? I want to make my own money so I could have my own luxury house. I want to have my own car. And most importantly, I want to marry a smoking, hot blonde from Hawaii. Like my mother. My dad said, if I sit on the couch, play video games, and watch Netflix, I will never get my dream. But if I do Ironman and become a successful public speaker, you will have a chance to get my dream.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah.
Were mommy and daddy right?
Yeah. So, 1 year ago, I was an average kid with Down syndrome. I finished last in a 14-mile special Olympic triathlon. I told my baby daddy I want to be a world champ. He said, okay, let's write a simple plan. So I wrote my dreams, my goal, and get 1% better every day. So I went to work to hit my goal and get my dream.
So, time to write a success plan. I helped Chris build that success plan and helped coach him through it. My wife and I supported him every step of the way. And we realized that we had to build a plan that was really simple for him. Now, we knew that any plan, any big endeavor in life starts with a dream. Fortunately, we knew Chris had a big dream. He knew what he wanted. That dream that he just told you about, that was all him. He wrote it down, and he is seeing it come into existence. So we knew that if he was going to tackle something big, he needed a big dream. And fortunately, he had a big dream. And that's always step number one in achieving any level of success. You ask people, what's your dream? What do you want to live like? What do you want out of your life? What's important to you? How do you see yourself 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? Where do you see yourself living? Right? Who do you see yourself hanging out with? Dream is really, really important. Number two, you needed a goal. One goal. A lot of people get confused by goals. Often people come and tell me, I've got 5 goals. I said, then you don't have any goals. Chris had one goal. Not 2, not 3, not 4, 1. In Chris's mind, there was only one goal. Everything else took second place and a distant second. His one goal was Ironman, November 2020. It was a 1-year goal, and that's all he focused on. And then you need a plan, a simple plan. Chris wakes up every day with a simple plan. How do I get 1% better today than I was yesterday? That's it. That's the plan. It doesn't get any more complex than that. He knows what each day has in store for him, and he just gets up and he executes. So he went to work. And as some of you have famously heard Mike Tyson say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And then what happens?
Everything was on track until March. COVID canceled everything. No gym to train in, no lakes to swim in, no back trails to ride in. Everyone said, let's wait. And you know what I said? I said, no. My dream was bigger than the obstacles. I found a way to train in my home and neighborhood. Even a bad class did not stop me. People ask me this question: why don't I quit? Because my dream is bigger than my pain.
This was an opportunity to teach Chris some lifelong lessons, something that would serve him for the rest of his life. You all know, you've been through it. The world said stop. We said, let's go. We're not going to stop. I saw the pandemic as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to teach him, Patty and I, to do the things we could do as parents, to prepare him to focus on his dreams and goals and not on the circumstances around him. So we did not allow the pandemic to derail his quest for his goal and his dreams. And we use that as an opportunity to teach him that you do not allow external circumstances or other people's perceptions of you to influence your ability to achieve your dreams and goals.
Stop crying.
I'm sorry, you make me cry.
Just stop crying.
All right.
May 9 was a big test. Half Ironman, 70.3 miles. The problem was, it was canceled. A month earlier, I crashed my bike and couldn't train for 2 weeks. People said, let's wait until I recover and things get better. So what do you think we did? That's right. We scheduled our own on the same date, May 9. Why? Because that was the goal of my calendar.
That's the power of that calendar. He had his sights set on May 9th to do a half Ironman. And even though everything was canceled everywhere, we said, we're going to go to Claremont and we're going to do our own.
Stop crying.
I'm done crying. Go on.
Get out of here. I finished it in 8 hours and 25 minutes.
And that's when everything turned around for him. That's when all of the global attention started, because he did something in the middle of a pandemic that had never been done before, and the attention started to pick up from that point on.
Now, we had 6 months to train for an Ironman. People said I should wait because every Ironman around the world was being canceled. They said it's 5 to 10 times harder, and I need more time to train. What do you think I said? No, if they canceled, we do our own again.
What do you think you said?
Get out of here.
You get out of here.
Before and after November 7th, every 4 Ironman in the world was canceled. But on November 7th, 2020, I'm in Florida, was on. And guess what happened then? That's freaking right. This is me today. The first person Down syndrome to do an Ironman and set a new world record. Do you think it was worth it? Yes, I'm so blessed. Special Olympics, maybe champion last year, gave me the Florida Hero Award, invited me to the USA Games. Ironman made me a global ambassador, invited me to freaking Hawaii. They gave me a documentary about his freaking eye, man. Disney gave me a Harris Welcome, nominated for Sports Australian Inspirational Story of the Year. Dot, 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 dot. Guinness, give me a new world record. We just released a children's book. The 1% Bachelor book is coming in October. And I just won a Nikic Global Sports Award. And best of all, I'm healthy, happy, and making my own money so I can get my freaking high smoking wife. My success is based on what happened. I get 1% Bachelor each day. Y'all know I got a success plan. Get a big dream. Set a big goal. Y'all need to get 1% Bachelor every day. You got to work hard. Make no serious excuses. Do everything with the freaking smile. It takes a freaking team. In my freaking journey,
Stop with the freak.
I did the work, but I didn't do it alone. I am blessed by wonderful Special Olympics volunteers like Dan, Simone, Carlos, and Jennifer, and especially my baby daddy. And I want to look like Coach Hector.
Why?
Get out of here
Is he good looking?
and do the freaking Hawaii Iron film. And here's my 1% Bachelor challenge. I have a mission to inspire more of you to help more people like me. You have to start by developing a 1% Bachelor habit in your freaking life. Help one special needs person to do the same. Let's make the world better for others like me. To know more, please go to chrisnikic.com and please get involved. Please take my 1% Bachelor challenge and help someone like me. Visit pre-order my 1% Bachelor book.
Wait a second, it's my book.
My book.
Okay.
Yeah, wait a second. My book.
Okay, your book.
And please follow me on Instagram and Facebook, GoFundMe page. And thank you, may God bless you.
Thank you. Proud of you, baby. Thank you.
You guys are terrific.
Stop it.
We got a natural showman here.
Come on up, honey.
Okay. Well, I can't think of a better way to end the 23rd Annual Family Cafe. Let's give them another round of applause. If you all would bear with us, we have Chris's mom who's going to say a few words. Please.
Thank you all very much. I was sitting in the audience listening to my husband, to my son, and I just made some notes. And I got so moved from the heart because I want you all to know that we feel that this is all a divine happening, what's going on in our life. When I found out that Chris was going to be a special individual baby, boy, now a young man, I thank God that I was so blessed to have Chris as my son. I made some notes and I'll be quick. This family cafe means so much to me to be here on stage because since Chris was a baby, I used to come year after year. I would come in on a Thursday afternoon or a Thursday evening, running to get to whatever session I could make. I would be so tired. I know what it's like running hard, going to therapists, doing the extra work that all of our special people need, our individual family members, our friends. We all give so much on a physical, emotional, intellectual level, day in and day out. So I want to applaud all of you who are here on a Sunday afternoon. You could have left when everybody else left, but you didn't. You are here for a reason. And the reason is you have the desire to make a difference, and I want you all to know that you will make a difference. I came here every year to fill up my tank, to get around other people who understood the struggle that I felt. I didn't always express it to my husband, but I would think and pray, and every day I wanted to make a positive difference in my son's life. And when I heard the word, no, he can't be in that class, no, he can't do that, I simply would say to myself, I am going to prove them wrong. So I'm just checking my notes to make sure I stay on track because I'm also, my favorite nickname is Trish. My very close family members My closest friends know that. But on more than one occasion, I've been called Chatty Patty. So I'm trying to, limit my words. That's why I'm going to follow what I wrote. Let's get others to see us all in a human way. Let's be sure to recognize that we humans all have issues. We all have issues to varying differences. So that is what I want you all to just feel empowered, that typical people, they have issues too. They're just maybe not as aware of it, right? Please, please smile at yourself. Tell yourself, I can do it. I always told Chris, and I would write it on index cards. I would have him say it in the morning. I would have him have it in his backpack at school. If he was teased, if he felt like he wasn't included, if he felt like he was alone during the school day when I wasn't there, to give him a smile, to encourage him, to let him know he was loved and respected. I told him, you pull out that little index card with the smiley face on it, and you tell yourself, I can do it. I'm almost done. Like I said, this annual conference has been my place for comfort, information, and association with others who are different from your typical person. And I would come in feeling that drain mentally, physically, and emotionally, and after all of the interactions and listening to others, by the time I left Sunday afternoon, when the last speaker was finished, I was happy because my batteries were recharged. This was the fuel I needed to get me through another year of working with Chris, showing people wherever we went that he too deserves to be included and accepted just like any typical person. When Chris entered education, meaning school outside of the home, when he was 3.5, he went to VPK. And I wanted to, my number one desire, maybe it was a goal, Nick, I don't know what you call it, but all I wanted as a mother is for others to see my son and to treat my son with respect, letting him know that yes, he too matters. I also wanted to have people recognize Chris by his name. I wanted someone to say in the staff at school, Chris Nikic is going to bring down the attendance today. I didn't want people to say Chris or the boy with Down syndrome. I wanted people to know Chris by name. Let's get others to see us all in a humane way. Let's be sure to recognize that we humans all have issues, and let's have our daily interactions with school staff, teachers, teachers' aides, principals, students, and parents, letting them understand that yes, we too matter. I would shield Chris from all people who would make judgments by the way he looks. I would tell him daily how handsome he looks, how smart he is, how amazing he is, how he needs to be of good character, treating others with respect, smiling at others, to love on other people, to look at people and smile and let them know they matter too. Please, please, smile at yourself, tell yourself, I can do it, and please come up with your own 1%, your one more in any area, with your relationships with each other, with your physical activity, with your spiritual. I do that. I tell myself when I'm tired, maybe I can just read one more, not a chapter, maybe it's one more sentence on certain nights when I'm tired. But you all can do it. We all love you guys. We are here as humans to be together, to come together, and to feel the power and the love. Thank you.
I'd like to say a few words.
No, you're not going to say any more words. Let's go. Let's go. You and your mom. You see a microphone and that's it. Come on. Let's go.
To my mother.
Come on.
Come on.
Go over there. Sign some books.
It's to my mother. She's been my rock. She's a stand-up mom. We will make people who we are, and we are here to make a difference. If your mom with special needs child, please stand up.
All moms.
Here is my message. We will make people happy. We're going to make a difference in people's lives. And make sure, have your child just do 1% every day. So, my last words for the day is, I love my mom, and I hope one day that I will get a wife just like her. Thank you.
I love you. I love you. I love you. So proud of you, Chris. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if any of you are interested, we have a special children's book we would like to share with you, and it's over here. All righty, thank you again.
And if you want some of my book, please come and we see you, other moms.